Okay, good morning once again, colleagues. For those who just joined, we were actually waiting for you. We were supposed to start exactly at 10 o'clock, but nonetheless, we are here. We are going to start. So, my name is Municipal Simon. I will be the program director for this workshop. I'm not alone. I'm with our imaging librarian, the current imaging librarian, Miss Tolelwa, and also uh, Miss Frida, as well as the facilitator for this workshop, who is Lola. This is the continuation of the workshop that we had last month. So we are still continuing. So we are also urging those who are working in municipalities, please spread the message so that you are able to join these workshops and you are going to learn a lot from these workshops. Please make sure that if you see your colleague not joining, please encourage them to join. And also those who knows other colleagues from other municipalities who may not be part of Liasa or something, please tell them to join so that we can have a bigger group so that we all rise together. I also want to thank Liasa for giving us this platform. Without Liasa, we wouldn't be able to meet all the municipal workers across the country. So also a special thanks to our team, the Nevada team. Thank you so much for organizing this. So for those of you who may not have been with us last month, we have our presenter who is Lola. And for those of you who don't know Lola, Lola is our customer relations manager, as well as the assistant project manager at Nevada LMS. She is also responsible for engaging directly with clients and also collaborating with the IT team by creating a vital bridge between the library professionals as well as the technical development. So her work ensures that Nevada LMS meets the evolving needs of libraries through seamless integration and user-focused enhancement. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ms. Lola Diantina. Miss Lola, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction, Simon. And just from my side, I would also like to thank Liasa for the platform. We're very excited to continue the session today. And yeah, of course, a big thank you also to our emerging librarians, Simon and Kolewa. So, yes, good morning, all. Thank you for joining us. As Simon said, we are continuing with the session. So, today is session 2 on introducing Nevada LMS to municipal libraries. So, in today's session, we will take a deep dive into the acquisitions module, the vendor integration, look at reporting, and then as well the copyright module, the supporting tools, and give you a live demonstration on Nevada in action. So, let's have a look. So, without further ado, as we discussed in the previous session, the acquisitions module is a complete workflow solution for selector librarians, catalogers, and acquisitions managers, and other library staff as well, of course. So, through the administrator portal, managers can easily customize the procurement process to fit to their specific needs. Remember that the acquisitions module integrates with the Nevada vendor platform, allowing access to vendor pricing, license types, and inventory catalog for both P-books and eBooks. In terms of the acquisitions process, librarians can search for titles via our Nevada Discovery tool, and from there they can create and manage dedicated lists and submit procurement request forms. So these forms can also be customized as they are flexible to be based on the specific needs of each institution. So allowing users to add titles to the central and the local library lists, track funds, and manage other details like quantity, price, and currency. So the procurement manager or head of circulation or cataloging serves as the approver within the system. They decide whether to approve or reject a request from the selector. Additionally, before finalizing an order, the manager can then review fund allocations using budget alerts embedded in the request form, ensuring financial oversight at every step. So let's look more at the vendor integration process. Nevada LMS offers a multi-vendor platform that enables libraries to seamlessly procure both ebooks and pbooks from their preferred vendors. So this integration eliminates the need for multiple procurement systems, allowing for a centralized and more efficient approach to acquisitions for collection development. So on the one of the standout features of the acquisitions module is the ability to procure competitive pricing by allowing libraries to compare vendor options in real time. So this ensures that institutions can make well-informed decisions, purchasing decisions that align with their budgets while securing the best available deals from multiple suppliers. So to enhance efficiency, we provide a dedicated vendor interface where vendors can directly manage their stock levels and pricings. And this interface ensures that vendors can keep their inventory information up to date, making it easy for libraries to access accurate stock availability. However, this functionality requires prior agreements to be in place between the library and the vendor. So just take note of that. Some key benefits here include a unified platform to work on. So instead of managing multiple vendor accounts separately, libraries can handle all vendor integrations with a single integrated platform. Um, and also the cost-effective procurement. So by comparing prices from different vendors, libraries can select the most cost-effective option, reducing acquisition cost without compromising on quality. Then also the simplified stock feed uploads. So vendors can effortlessly upload their stock information using a standardized template, ensuring consistency and accuracy. Nevada LMS provides ongoing support to vendors, helping them navigate the platform and ensuring smooth operations. To also maintain a high quality data integrity, the Nevada platform also verifies all vendor uploads, ensuring that stock levels and pricings are accurate before making them available to the libraries. So next, let's take a look at the audit trail reporting feature. So this part of the system works behind the scenes, capturing all essential data for forensic auditing processes. With just a click, you can generate a full audit trail report for an entire financial year, making it quick and easy for your auditors. You also have the flexibility to create ad hoc reports on fund allocations and spending. This ensures full transparency and allows you to see exactly how your budget is being spent um, and used at any given time. So finally, you can control also who has access to these reports. You have the option to give access to all users or limit it to specific individuals, keeping your reports secured and customized. So in this example of the reporting hierarchy insights, this will be available to all South African libraries if they adopt the solution. So, with this implementation, the National Library would gain valuable visibility into all 9 provincial libraries. And with each provincial library, they would also have insights into their respective 1,809 public libraries. So, this structure ensures a centralized and transparent reporting system, enabling a better data-driven decision-making, resource allocation, and performance monitoring process across the entire library network. From the 2019 comparative staff analysis for the provincial library services, we found that staff composition and workflows are also important to recognize in reporting. We see here that 28% of staff were librarians and 32% were library assistants in the provincial libraries. Additionally, the different roles, for example, general workers, admin, and managers, can provide context to how the platform supports diverse staff within libraries. Nevada can here support libraries and library workflow reports by including data on staff composition as well. In this next screenshot, we showcase some of our detailed reports available in Nevada that libraries can use to generate and make more data-driven decisions. So beyond reporting and workflow insights, another critical function that libraries must manage efficiently is copyright clearance. So libraries frequently need to reproduce copyright materials, and without a structured system, this process can be time-consuming and complex. This is where the Nevada copyright module comes in, designed to simplify and streamline copyright applications. This module enables libraries to save time, reduce manual efforts, and ensure legal compliance when reproducing materials. Additionally, its cost-effective approach is directly linked to Dalro, providing a seamless and compliant solution. So let's explore how this module works in practice. So firstly, in South Africa, Dalro governs and grants copyright users permission to use copyright-protected work while ensuring that copyright holders are remunerated by the copyright user reproducing their work. So just for a bit of context, DALRO stands for the Dramatic, Artistic, and Literary Rights Organization. There are two types of licenses available through DALRO. So firstly, we have the blanket license and then also a transactional license. The blanket license gives copyright users permission to use works in DALRO's repertoire by the terms of the licensing agreement. Therefore, a copyright user does not need to apply each time before using works. And this is usually ideal for institutions with many people where reproduction is, a regular part of their activities. However, the transactional license gives copyright users permission to use materials on a work by work or single use basis and does not cover the entire repertoire of a collection management organization, otherwise known as a CMO. So Nevada here provides infrastructure for libraries to make use of the transactional license by significantly reducing the administrative overheads, which will save you time and also reduce cost, as the transactional license is definitely the most cost-efficient option to execute. The copyright process follows a simple yet structured workflow to ensure efficiency, accuracy, and compliance. Here's how it works. So firstly, the process begins with a applicant submitting a copyright application within Nevada by filing a or filling out a standard form. And then once submitted, the copyright officer receives the application, reviews it, and prepares the necessary documentation before forwarding it to Dalro. To ensure efficiency, Nevada includes a backend script that packages and submits the application via email to Dalro, so reducing manual intervention. And then there's another automated script, then processing Dalro's response and routes that relevant information back to the copyright officer. The copyright officer then reviews Dalro's feedback, links the approval status, and any associated quotations to the original application for the applicant. And then once everything is in place, the selector or applicant receives an official approval document confirming the application has been successfully processed. And with all approvals secured, the applicant can now then legally proceed to reproduce the requested material. So to provide a bit more context, there are 4 specific categories covered that applications can be made for. There's books, journals, thesis, and media. So the media can be things like graphs, photos, audio, etc. And then once the form is completed, selectors can easily track their applications and monitor the statuses within the system. Here, the copyright officer portal manages incoming applications from selectors, so they can approve, edit, or deny the request. If approved, the application is placed in a queue to be processed by Dalro, and the backend script will then, just process the applications to Dalro on a daily basis. So in the corner here, we see a couple of action icons. So the flag will notify the copyright officer of any duplicate requests with the same material. Um, then the officer can also decide if they want to place the application on hold. And the two little arrows are just showing us that this can be used to approve the request to either send it to Dalro or to the publisher if applicable. So once the copyright officer receives the quotation and links it to the original application, the applicant is notified via Nevada that the application has been approved and all relevant documentation is made available on the platform as well. So now let's dive into some important details about permissions and limitations when applying for copyright clearance. So the 10% rule enforced by Dalro allows selectors to generate applications for up to 10% of the copyright protected work, such as a single chapter without requiring, additional documentation. So in these cases, Dalro typically grants permission to reproduce the requested material. However, if the request exceeds 10% of the work, a motivational document must be submitted through Nevada as part of the application process. It is also important to note that copyright protection is automatic, but Dalro oversees the licensing processes, and this ensures ethical reproduction of materials. And it's important to also know that copyright infringement can carry significant penalties, including fines and imprisonment, which is why we must always respect and just contribute to the rights of authors by making the appropriate copyright applications. All right, so Nevada streamlines the copyright management by integrating directly with Dalro, simplifying the permissions request and reducing administrative tasks. So let's look at some key features here. So the efficient copyright management, it happens quick and seamless through the system with minimal manual efforts. And then also the direct Dalro integration automates license applications for approval. Because we're using the pay-per-use license, the transactional license, this also reduces significant costs. So, you can then within your library put those costs into another place that, can be for your building and your staff just to compensate a bit more there. And then also the legal compliance that we look at. So adhering to all the copyright laws and incorporating the 10% rule within the system. So the support for authors and contributors ensures fair compensation for anyone that contributed to creating the work. And then also the customization for public libraries. So currently we have copyright set up for academic libraries where certain values such as faculty, department, and campus are sometimes requested or needed on the form. But here we are actually rewriting that to be more for subject and categories to be applicable for public libraries. And then also the comprehensive record keeping. So keeping detailed records for auditing and compliance is always available within the system. So this approach makes copyright management efficient, compliant, and cost effective for both academic and public libraries. All right, so now let's have a quick look at the system. I'm just quickly going to share the system's screen so that I can take you through some of the processes. So firstly, coming back to the public library setup and how we use Nevada Discovery and the acquisitions process, I just quickly want to show you, we covered this in the first session, going over Nevada Discovery. And so these are all the facets. yeah, a system that has over 60 million unique titles, and then 45 unique facets that you can use to really curate your searches and results. So for example, I'm quickly going to just search here by the language. I'm just going to say I want English titles, and then putting my format maybe as hardback and paperback, and then just going to work on a subject of agriculture. Please remember that we also do have the public library subject available here. So this caters to all South African languages, all 11 official South African languages. So as you see here, we have the category and then the African language at the end. So yeah, it's specifically created for public libraries to use and explore. So with just these simple fields that I've entered here, I'm just going to do a quick search. Just giving the system a second to pull that through. Sure, I wonder if my Wi-Fi is a bit slow this morning. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so sure, we can see over, yeah, there's a lot of titles that pulled through here, and then we have a little summary of all the facets that we have put information into. And from here, you can just explore all the potential titles that you can then add to a list and then send to either the provincial or the local library list to be procured. So there's quite a lot of titles. I'm just, for instance, going to open up this one. And here we can see all the contributors also here at the top. So for collection development, it's great to have this information to, explore other authors and contributors to find other titles created by them as well. If we scroll down, we find the basic bibliographic information for the title, the image as well. Who the publisher is also displayed. And then we can see further enriched information such as the description, table of contents, more prices, the specific audience which the title is for. Here we see subject and qualifiers. All of them are available. And then distributors, RPG, and wholesalers. Okay, so from here, the selector can then proceed to add it to one of their lists. So I'm just going to say my African catalog. I'm going to say view my list. Open that list again. And now we can proceed. Sorry, I'm zoomed in a little bit. So let me just zoom out there. Now we can proceed to find the title again. We can see the price, and the selector can then say, right, they wish to send this either to the provincial library list or the local library list. So from here, they can select the active list, the specific library that should be linked there. Sorry, I'm seeing this is not showing up now, but then the fund will also be available to select from. So all funds displayed are obviously linked to your budgets, which can be set up in the administrator portal. Quantities can be put in, your currency, price, and then any additional notes. So once this is submitted, your collection, yeah, development person or manager can then come to their admin area. And within the library dropdown, there are three fields. So first we have list, view, and library. So libraries is the initial library setup within the organization. So let's quickly have a look there. So here we can see all the libraries available. You can always add a new library, amend a library, remove a library, and then we have also lists. So the list is which lists are available for those libraries that we were just looking at. So there's currently 2 active lists. A lot of customizations can be done here, saying what is the list type? Is it for provincial list or the local library list? You can put in the full allocation for the list, so the specific amount. Also, when the list opens, when it retires, the specific budget that you wish to use related to the list, and then when it is released to libraries, also if it is active and locked, if you want to still work on it. So keeping all information always within the system. And then if we actually go into view, we can see all the titles that have been added to those lists. Oh my gosh, why are you not showing? I just quickly want to see again. Sorry about that. I checked it this morning, it was showing up. But basically, within that view, the managers can then say they want to either approve it, deny it, maybe edit it, and then, that information is captured, put into your audit trail report, and then, yeah, have that information available within the full report. So, I'm really sorry that I couldn't show this to you now. This is a demo just set up for presentation, so I do apologize for that. I wanted to also show the budget setup. So all of this happens within the admin area that is specifically for the administrators of the library. So again, multiple budgets can be created, and these budgets will then reflect on the application form that the selectors will then complete, and then they just basically select which fund they will be using. So we can add a new budget, we can amend a budget. So this is seeing just the budget code, name, description, currency, the full budget allocation. And these were the limit warning and errors that I was speaking about in the presentation. So for instance, if you reach a certain amount of your budget, the system can notify you, hey, maybe start closing up the budget or allocate more funds to the specific budget. And a error can actually stop any further procurements to be made against this specific budget so that you don't overspend on your threshold. Further statuses can be set up as well, the specific usage of the budget, which can be great as well, and then also for the years that you are actually using the budget. So all of this ties into how the selectors engage with the system and what they will see on their side. So from the manager side, they can always set these things up. And then also we have the user setup. So this refines it even more, setting up the specific workflow for each user, their specific permissions, and how they can engage with the system. So next, having a look at vendor management. So with our vendor management, we mentioned that you can invite your preferred vendors onto the platform. So here it is just necessary to have prior agreements in place between your library and the vendor. And it's very simple. You can either select a vendor that you're familiar with from this list and invite them. So it's just a invitation that they receive via email with login credentials. But if your vendor is not on this list, you can always just do a manual invitation, and that gets sent out to them. So as I mentioned, once the vendor actually accepts the invitation, they sign into their own user interface, which I will just give you a sneak peek on shortly. And then when you come into discovery and you're searching for a title, you will find two prices. So the normal discovery price from the vendors that we have on the system, but then also your specific vendor's price that they have uploaded. So this then allows you to see that compared, or it allows you to compare the prices and then make a decision on which title you prefer to procure. So yeah, let's have a look at the vendor platform quickly. I just want to show you the user interface. For that, I just have to sign into another profile. So vendors only have access to the upload side. So they won't be using Discovery or, any of the other modules. They only have basically support, and then, yeah, able to do their upload. So here we are in the vendor's stock feed upload page. They can set up their stock feed upload here by saying, firstly, the frequency, how often would they like to do their uploads, let's say monthly for this case. And then they can also decide how they wish to send Nevada the information. So is it through FTP or an API? Again, this is a little bit more technical, but they just pop in the information here, update the details, and then proceed to just drop the file. So once the file is dropped, as I mentioned, Nevada does a verification, making sure that all the information is accurate and nothing is missing so that the user or the selectors see everything as best as possible. So that's basically the process. Very quick, very simple, and yeah, again, allows you just to work on one platform with your preferred vendors. So now I'm quickly just going to sign into another profile to show you the copyright process as well, that we've covered in the presentation. I always think it's great to have a real life example so that we can see what these pages look like, what is the user interface, um, yeah, how does it feel, how does it look, is it simple? So we have the copyright here. I'm just quickly going to go to my list and find a title. All right. So similarly, you'll have this copyright, yeah, just little icon here. And from there, you can then just click it and it opens up an application form. So because we were working from my list, it already incorporates the title that you selected into the form. So we can see the title is here, the ISBN, my name is by the applicant name, and then we also see the author, who the publisher is. So some of the information is already coming through. Then we can just start from the top and select, okay, this is a book that we're applying for. Note that if you apply for a book or media, then some of the fields do change because maybe media does not have an ISBN. Maybe it has another sort of identifier, and then it will ask you for that. So we are currently working on a book. This faculty, department, and module, as I mentioned, this is going to be different for public libraries, obviously, more so around subjects and categories to have it just yeah, customizable and relevant to how it is being used. Then the course duration is just where in the year is this going to be used. If it's on behalf of someone that you're making an application for, you can also put in that information. And then further info like the author of the chapter, title of the chapter, page numbers of the chapter, total pages of the chapter, and all these page numbers questions that is being asked is actually going to calculate if you're asking for more than 10% of the copyright protected work. So if you are, then it's going to be absolutely necessary to upload a motivational document, as you see here. And then once you submit that, it goes through obviously to the copyright officer for them to check it, and once they're happy, they can send it to Daro to get the yeah, approval. So this is just basically the copyright application form that I wanted to show. Further, I want to show you the new request page as well. So this is where the copyright officer will actually do their work and see all the requests that came in from the selectors, and they can then view it, see if it's duplicates, proceed to send it either to the publisher or to Dalro, approve, deny, edit, so on, or even place on hold. The functionality is also there. And then once the applications have gone through to Dalro, they come back from Dalro, and now they have to be linked back to the applicant. The copyright officer has this document depot where they can select the quotation, see the reference number, and then link it back to the applicant. So if I click here on direct view, it's going to show me the actual documentation that came back from Dalro. And then, yeah, once that is then loaded, it's basically then sent back to the applicant to, yeah, um, then proceed to reproduce the work. So it seems so simple, but there's so many processes running in the back end. And with the integration with Dalro, it does sometimes become a bit complex, but for the user, very simple to engage with. And yeah, all the information is also here. I did not go into the My Applications page. This is basically for the various application or applicants to see what applications they have put through. So just a little summary page for them with statuses. And then processed also just shows for the copyright officer everything that has gone through the office, which has been processed, and all the applications made. So that's just a quick view on the copyright module. All right, so just coming back to the presentation, I still would like to show and explain some of the comprehensive support that Nevada offers for libraries. So we have various features here. So the one is product not found. So this allows you as a user to engage with us on any missing data, or if you're doing a search on Discovery and the title is not pulling through, you have the possibility to ask for that title, and then it goes through to the data analyst and they can possibly add that for you so that your collection keeps growing and building, and yeah, just have that available. So also we have submit and edit. So when you are on a title and for instance you need it in a specific language, maybe the language is not displayed, you can just say to us, is it available in this language, without hindering your workflow. um, and then the other thing we also have is just a general ticket system with built into the system. So it allows, yeah, just quick communication. And also there is within the ticket system an opportunity for you to engage with your team. So sending internal messages within the system. So this can bypass WhatsApp groups and emails. So yeah, all can happen within the system for sure. So let's quickly have a look at how these support features look. So this is just submitting our product not found, where you can just put in as much information as possible of the title that you're looking for. And then once you've logged that request, the data team just needs a little bit of time to source that and you'll have it available. Then we also spoke about submit and edit. So on the specific title, we can see there's this little green button in the corner. So if you just click on that, it immediately pulls the ISBN that you're on, and you can just drop a comment to the team. And then as well as mentioned, this is the ticket system, very user-friendly and simple. You can also do uploads here. And then of course we have the send a message to an internal user. So yeah, you have various grids that you can create. You can upload images or even videos, pop links in there, and yeah, have it available for your team all within the system. So, in summary of what we are offering today is Nevada Discovery, a search engine with over 60 million titles and supporting all 11 official African languages. The acquisitions module, which streamlines the book ordering process with budget tracking and audit trail reporting, all supporting the collection development needed within public libraries. Then also the vendor integration that enables a cost-effective procurement solution to stock management and having multiple vendors on board. The reporting tools available allow you to provide customizable or have access to customizable reports on demand for tracking budgets and funds. And then the copyright module simplifies the copyright clearance process, ensuring legal compliance, fair remuneration for creators, and seamless integration with DALRO, supporting collection building needs for municipal libraries. And then, of course, the comprehensive support, including training, ticket system, and a user-friendly interface. All right, so that's it from my side. I'd like to open the floor if there's any questions or thoughts, ideas, or experiences that anyone would like to share. You are welcome to unmute yourself or drop us a chat. Thank you.
Okay, Lola, thank you very much for the presentation. I think while we're still waiting for the question, maybe I can just ask this question. This is Xolelo. With the discovery tool, is it only for then the librarians or the users of the public library? Can they make use of that discovery tool to see if the title that they want is available?
Thank you for the question. Yes, of course. So the discovery tool allows you to, yeah, just search for any titles. And if it's not available, as I mentioned, the product not found tool allows,
Mm.
yeah, you to have the
Mm.
opportunity to possibly get that title also onboarded onto the system's database. And once that is found, you can, yeah, just make the procurement. I also wanted to show here within the support, we have a certain section for product not found. So this will show you all the product not found requests that you have made, and then also the status. If it was processed completely and it's in your list, you can also view here in the info. It was submitted, the date and the time is also there, so you can see how fast the process is happening. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think another question while we're still waiting for questions from the colleagues, if there are any. Sometimes maybe the person that is using the system would want to do a report. Do you have a tool that maybe extract a report, maybe just an analysis of the usage?
Oh, absolutely. So within the reports, there's so many reports available.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to scroll through here. So we have user reports. You can also see the specific users' areas of responsibility. So where within the library does this user slot in? What are their permissions? And yeah, what are they responsible for? You have a budget analysis, price report. So this is also for vendor pricing that you can see any orders, quotation reports. This is a public library classification report as well. And then because we migrated from a previous system, so, which we call the Nevada legacy system, we also have those reports available within that standard template. And workflow reports, again, linking back to users. And then the holy grail of reports, the audit trail report, which is the big one.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, okay. The last one, I think the reporting, especially for the managers, I think this would be a very useful tool. The last one, you spoke about the comprehensive support, and I just want to know if there's any error on the system, maybe we're experiencing in our library. So okay, I just want to know that support, when we are raising a ticket, how long do you think it can be resolved? Yeah.
Sure, not a problem. So when logging a support request either through the system or just communicating with us, we generally do try to at least give a response within the same day, obviously. But sometimes it does take a little bit longer to resolve a issue, but it's generally, yeah, I would say 24 hours. Yeah. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, thank you very much, Lola. I think you've answered everything. I don't know if there's any questions from the colleagues. Okay, so if there's no questions from the colleagues, let me just switch on my camera so that you can see this face that is speaking this morning. My name is Xolelwa Tlogile. I am the emerging librarian. Okay, no, Lola, actually, I think you wanted to wrap up. No?
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm just gonna keep this on the screen. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Xolelwa Tlogile and I am the emerging librarian for 2024. What an insightful presentation that we just had this morning. I think actually just from the last time, Lola, when you were explaining, it was straight to the point. And when I was asking this question, it's just going into depth with what you have to offer. So I hope that the colleagues got something this morning. And Lola, maybe just the last question. I've seen this presentation and I want to propose it for my public library. So how do I go about? Can I contact you that you can set a one-on-one with our library? How do you go about in making sure that, yeah, we just...
Sure. So yes, absolutely. I have the contact details here on the screen, so you're welcome to just jot them down and pop us an email. We are very excited to get in touch. And yeah, the presentation can also be made available to anyone interested. So yeah, if anyone needs that, please feel free to contact us. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much, Lola. And as she said, so all the details are on the screen. You can contact her and you can set up an appointment or you can just ask for the presentation this morning. I think really, Linda, and it was really a good presentation, well organized, straight to the point. Everything was so simple. I actually just want to give a testimony with the copyright module, which is what I have been using in the copyright office. It has really just made it so easy. And I think one of my favorite features is when there is a duplicate, you are able to see that there's a duplicate, so you don't have to be sending that through, and you can just make the selector aware of that. Well, my job is very simple this morning. I have to just say thank you very much. So firstly, I just want to say thank you very much to our program director who opened for us, Mr. Mujabilu Simon. Thank you very much for leading us into today's presentation. And of course, our speaker, Lola Diantina, thank you very much. Very, very insightful presentation this morning. And I hope that the colleagues took something this morning. And I would just also want to thank our sponsor, Ms. Frida van Wyk and Nevada, for sponsoring the Emerging Librarian. And it is possible for us to have this webinar because of Nevada. Thank you very much to Liasa for hosting us. I know, Mr. Apelele, you are busy running around preparing for Library Week and other activities, but thank you very much that you took your time and just prepared this room for us with meals and water. And hopefully there's muffins after this, Apelele. And last but not least, thank you very much to all the colleagues. Actually, we had this presentation just for you, prepared with you in mind. Thank you very much. And I hope that this morning you really took something. You took your time to join for the presentation. And we just want to say thank you very much. So in closing, we know that the 17th until the 23rd of March is South African Libraries Week. And we as Nevada would just like to wish all the libraries and the librarians during this week that everything goes well. And I know with this year's theme, Libraries for Sustainable Communities, and we hope that we as librarians and libraries will speak to the theme this year. So all the best with all the preparation and the activities that we will be doing throughout this week. And thank you very much again for joining us this morning. And as Lola said, you can contact her if there's anything that you need clarity on, if you want a presentation, or if you just want to ask any questions. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, may you please have a beautiful Friday today.
Thank you.